Hello everyone and welcome into Coach Craig Sports. This is the MLB DFS Core Pick video for Tuesday, April 29th. If you're joining me for the very first time, first of all, welcome in. Second of all, this is how today's video will be structured. When going over my core picks, it's going to be one pitcher, four hitters. That's going to be based on a combination of past performance versus their respective opponent, as well as some recent history. After that, we'll get moved over to my cheat sheet and talk about my top GPP teams to stack for Tuesday's slate. And then in the morning, I will be posting on my early morning weather report that will have any game that does have a double-digit chance of rain or higher listed down there. And then I will be posting as many of these starting lineups as I can get to throughout the afternoon. Once again, we will be having a baseball game going on, so I'll have everything updated prior to that point in time. So definitely do make sure that you are checking up on that comment section throughout the day. But without further ado, we'll get right into it with the core picks. We're going to start off at the pitcher position with Garrett Crochet of the Boston Red Sox. Goes against the Toronto Blue Jays. He is $10,600. He's got some pretty good history versus the Blue Jays hitters in the past. He had one start versus them earlier this year where he had 29 points. Last year he had 40 points in his lone start versus the Toronto team. So definitely do like the upside that he could have. Obviously, there are a few pitchers that are worth targeting at the same time as well. So if you don't want to play Garrett Crochet, feel free to go with one of the other options at the same time as well. But if we look at what he's done so far in the season, he's got 2 wins, ERA just under 2 at 1.95, and averaging about 40.5 fantasy points at $10,600. Then we're going to move down to our hitters. We're going to start off with catcher Cal Raleigh of the Seattle Mariners. He's $3,300, averaging just under 13 fantasy points per game. Goes against the Los Angeles Angels. It's Jack Konkowitz, probably mispronouncing his name on the mound. But he is 2 for 2 with 1 home run versus him in his career. He's on a modest 3-game hitting streak as we do speak. 0 multi games during that time span, 1 home run, but does have 2 double-digit performances. So definitely do like the upside of Cal Raleigh once again. And if we go back even further, he's been doing really well as of late. And if we look at what he's done on the season in totality, .220 batting average. Obviously, the batting average is never going to be the calling card for him, but he does have 10 home runs, 16 RBI. Once again, averaging just under 13 fantasy points per game at $3,300. Then we're going to move down to second base with Ozzie Albies. He's $3,300. So he will not have the most up-to-date information since he is still playing on Monday night slate at the time of this recording. But he did get a hit on Monday, so I do have him listed as for the last 5 games with at least 1 hit, so there will be 5 out of the last 6. 1 multi-game during that time span, 0 home runs, but does have 2 double-digit performances. So a little bit more hit or miss as of late, but definitely do love his upside once again. He's had .229 batting average, 4 home runs, 13 RBIs on the season, averaging just under 10 fantasy points per game at $3,300, which is actually $100 cheaper than on Monday. And then with all that being said, I did forget to mention that Ozzie Albies is going against the Colorado Rockies. German Marquez is the starting pitcher for them. He is 4 for 11 with 2 home runs versus him in his career, so definitely do love the upside of him just in general. Then we're going to go down to his teammate Alex Verdugo at $3,100, going against that Colorado Rockies team once again out at Coors Field, going against German Marquez, who he is 3 for 6 versus in his career. And if we look at what Alex Verdugo has done as of late, he's on a modest 4-game hitting streak. It will be 5 since he did get a hit on Monday night slate as well. 1 multi-game during that time span, 0 home runs, but does offer 3 double-digit performances in 4 of those games. So I definitely do like that floor of Alex Verdugo just in general. He's been doing pretty well since joining the Atlanta Braves team. He has a .333 batting average, 0 home runs, 5 RBIs. Once again, averaging just over 11 fantasy points per game at $3,100. And then last but not least, we're going down to Lourdes Gurriel Jr. He's at $2,600 at this point in time, averaging just under 8 fantasy points per game. Goes against the New York Mets. It is David Peterson on the mound. He is 2 for 5 with 1 home run versus David Peterson in his career. And if we look at what Lourdes Gurriel has done as of late, he has at least 1 hit in 3 out of his last 4 games, 0 multi-hit games during that time span, 0 home runs, but does have 1 double-digit performance. He's really slowed down quite a bit as of late, but banking on some of that past history versus David Peterson in the past. So if he's a guy that you really, truly don't want to play, feel free to play somebody else at the same time as well. But if we look at what he's done so far in the season, 175 batting average, 4 home runs, 15 RBIs, averaging just under 8 fantasy points per game at $2,600. But with that being said, if you go with the 5 players that I do currently have listed here, you'll have $12,100 remaining, just over $3,000 remaining per player. So looking a little bit more like a balance build type of day the rest of the way, but definitely feel free to get creative as it is a little bit larger slate for Tuesday just in general. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to my cheat sheet and talk about my top GPP teams to stack for Tuesday night slate overall. So in terms of the teams that we do have to stack, we're going to go to both Coors Field teams once again with the Atlanta Braves going against German Marquez. A lot of their hitters have hit him pretty well in the past, so definitely feel free to get as many Braves hitters as you do desire. And then for the Colorado Rockies, going against A.J. Smith-Shawver on the Atlanta Braves side. Smith-Shawver has not quite been the greatest so far to start off the young season. The Rockies hitters haven't faced him too much in the past before, but definitely could have some upside there. And then we have the Texas Rangers. They are going against either Hogan Harris or Joey Estes on the mound for the Athletics, so it kind of remains to be seen which one it will be, but either way, I do like their hitters in that matchup just in general. And then last but not least, we have the Los Angeles Dodgers going against the Miami Marlins. Sandy Alcantara is on the mound, but Sandy Alcantara has really struggled against this Dodgers lineup in the past, so would not be surprised if that happens once again, but at the same time would also not be surprised if he does come out and pitch a good game. But he's been kind of hit or miss so far to start the season and coming back from his elbow surgery just in general. But with that being said, these are my core picks as well as top GPP teams to stack for Tuesday, April 29th. As always, if you have any questions related to MLB DFS, be sure to drop them down in the comment section and I'll get back to you as quickly as possible. Once again, in the morning, I'll be listing my early morning weather report that will have any game that does have a double-digit chance of rain or higher. And then throughout the afternoon, I'll be posting as many of these starting lineups as I can get to prior to the time of our baseball game. So definitely be on the lookout for all that. Obviously, any lineup that does come out after that point in time, I'll be unable to get to. But definitely feel free to check over on RotoWire. You can Google RotoWire MLB lineups, and that will be the page that does come up. But we'll try to leave a link to that as well. But with that being said, if you were brand new to my channel, checking out for the very first time, or have yet to subscribe, please consider doing so. Definitely would appreciate it. Helps to build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Greg Sports, which is one that's truly for you, the viewers, helping you with your DFS. Right now, we have MLB DFS in terms of the core pick videos Monday through Friday. And then I have my UFL DFS video coming out once a week. Typically, that's been coming out on Wednesdays. And then last but not least, I'll be dropping my NFL draft grades at some point in time. It'll probably be either later on in the week, like Friday night, or headed into the weekend, just because that's when I will have time to kind of process through all that and get that video out at the same time as well. And then last but not least, if you're interested in sports betting, if you're interested in prop betting whatsoever, be sure to check out the links and promo codes down in the description below for BetUS, Parlay Play, and Prize Picks. If you're a brand new user to any one of those three sites, when you sign up, make your initial deposit, you will get a first match deposit bonus. For Prize Picks and Parlay Play, it's 100% match up to $100. And then for BetUS, it's 125% match up to $2,000. So some pretty great opportunities we had out there. If you have any other additional questions related to that whatsoever, feel free to reach out to me, whether it's down in the comment section of this video or on Twitter at Coach Craig Sport, and be more than happy to help you with that journey as well. But with that being said, that's all that I truly have for today's video. Definitely do appreciate each and every one of you tuning in. Definitely means a lot to me. I hope that each and every one of you have a great rest of your day and some pretty good luck in MLB DFS for Tuesday, April 29th.